Hi, everyone. It's so good to be here back with you for the weekly Priestess transmission. My name is Lisa Espinosa. If this is your first time connecting with me, welcome. It's such an honor. And if you've connected with me before, it's always so wonderful to connect with you again. So I can't believe it's only been a week. Like so much has happened. I know I keep saying this, and I'm just going to keep saying it. We are on an accelerated leadership path, and it is my great joy that you are here with me. If you want to share your name or where you're joining from, I would love to hear it. And you could also share in the comments if you're watching the replay. So today, as I was preparing, as many of you know, Mother Mary is one of my mentors, right? And she, as a high priestess, as a powerful leader that she was when she was here in the earth plane, and as a powerful leader that she is now as an ascended master, it's really, I couldn't ask for a better mentor, right? We couldn't ask for a better mentor for our own leadership path. And so I pulled a Mother Mary card before starting from the Alana Fairchild Mother Mary Oracle, and just asking for guidance. And I love the card that came, which was Our Lady of Great Power. Our Lady of Great Power. And so I want to read a little bit of the message. I'm also welcoming two of my orchids that are here because I'm actually remembering that in the Mother Mary journey I did earlier this year, which you can also find free here in my YouTube channel. One of the days was she really took us to an orchid garden. I forgot that. I just knew as I was preparing to go live, I love orchids. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen my story this weekend because I was freaking out because I think I have like 8 orchids and they're almost all blooming. That's never happened at all at the same time. They're blooming and they're so gorgeous. So as I was preparing, they're like, we want to be part of it. So we welcome beautiful orchid medicine as we talk about power, and as we talk about the priestess path, and as we talk about the power to love, especially when it feels challenging. And so let's talk about this message. So I'm not going to read all of it. I'm just going to read a little bit of what I was guided to read. It says this. So listen. Welcome, Lorenza. So good to see that you're here. And anyone else, please, would love to see who you are if you want to share. So here we go. It takes a truly great leader to be a great warrior for love on this planet. Did you hear that? Let me read it again. It takes a truly great leader to be a great warrior for love on this planet. A warrior for love. That is the type of leadership that we are being called to. And let me tell you, being a warrior for love is not easy because, well, how do I say this? On the one hand, it is the easiest thing. It's the simplest thing because we were created like our creator, like our source, who is nothing but love. So on the one hand, it is the most natural thing for us to love unconditionally of whatever is happening around us, unconditionally of how people are behaving. None of that matters. It is our divine birthright to be able to love throughout all of that. However, we're here on the earth plane. We're here in this human life. We're here on this heroic human journey. And although we are divine beings, we also have an ego. We're also here in this earth school where we have forgotten that we are connected to source. And the priestess path ultimately is a commitment to remembering that. And as we remember that, as we practice living in that way, as we practice leading in that way, because my call to the priestess path is a leadership call. And so as we practice showing up in that way, we remind others with our presence of that truth. Now, I want to be clear And I'm not talking about codependency. We can love someone and set very clear boundaries. We can love someone and decide that it's not for our highest good to be in their life, or for them to be in our lives, or to be in our lives together, however you want to say it. Sometimes the most loving thing is to do that. So this isn't, you know, in the spiritual path, codependency and rescuing and people pleasing and all of that stuff that can um, be confusing, can be very rampant in the spiritual path. And yet, when we commit, right, when we mentor with someone like Mother Mary, who, if you're watching this and for you, Mother Mary has been connected to specific religion, it might be hard, it might be challenging, right? If you've been offered a version of Mother Mary that's been very limited, I invite you to step into a place of welcoming her as an ascended master, like Green Tara, like Kuan Yin, like Mary Magdalene. And perhaps for you, Mother Mary, just you haven't had a connection. And this isn't about promoting a connection with Mother Mary, but I'm using, because I mentor so closely with her, as many of you do, she's such a beautiful role model of someone who is unconditionally loving and has pristine boundaries. And so, what I was guided to offer today as I was preparing was a heart healing to help our heart. And now I understand why the beautiful orchids are here, to help our heart to release any heaviness, any betrayal, any unforgiveness, anything that's in the way of you being that powerful warrior of love that you came here to be. And the way we release that is not through focusing and concentrating and analyzing. That can lead us only so far. That can be helpful up to a point. The way we do that is when we step into ceremony together, which is what priestesses do, really. This is what we do. Priestesses, what we do is we create ceremony until our whole life becomes like a ceremony. Ultimately, that's what it is. Ultimately, if we can see that our whole human journey is a ceremony, we can bring that reverence and that presence and that unconditional love. Now, I don't do that. I'm practicing it. I for sure forget. So do not misunderstand or think that I'm saying that I do that I'm always in ceremony and I'm always unconditionally loving. Absolutely not. Or I should say, my soul is always unconditionally loving, but I have lots of parts and I have lots of feelings. The only thing that is different, perhaps, with me and other people is that I'm committed, and I'm committed, and I commit, and I commit, and I commit, and I renew that commitment daily, sometimes hourly, sometimes it has to be minute, second by second. And that's okay. And so as we enter into ceremony together, because that's really part of this, priestess transmission, is not just the teachings, those are important, but it's, and honestly, I see the teachings as a reminder, because I feel like we already know this, we just forgot. We've forgotten. But it's also so we can connect in ceremony. Because when we enter that ceremonial space, we are not bound anymore by the limits of time and physical space. So even though you're not here in person with me, we know that when we enter ceremony, we are connected. And even though I might not even know who you are, that doesn't matter, because your soul brought you here to this transmission. And so what we're going to do, and I'm wearing my Jesus pendant. I'm not even going to go into the whole Jesus conversation, but just so you know, when I talk about Jesus, I talk about him as the ascended master that he is, as Buddha, as Krishna, as Mahavatar Babaji are. It's devoid of all of the dogma and doctrine. But it's a beautiful heart with that crown, right? That golden heart. And I'm wearing my Joan of Arc rosary. So with those powerful, loving beings here, we are going to welcome a healing of our heart. And I was guided recently to buy this beautiful tuning fork, which I honestly cannot believe I don't have one. I've been doing this type of work for like the last 12 years, different iterations of it. So I have crystals and I have a lot of tools. But last week I went for a massage with this amazing woman, and they have this little boutique store there, and I was looking at the crystals, and at this point, I would just kind of look around, and this literally called to me. And it's a heart chakra tuning fork. And so I've been using it. And so I was really guided to bring it here into the transmission to across the heart waves, right? Help amplify the heart healing that your higher self is going to facilitate for you, because I'm here creating the sacred space. I'm here following the guidance that is coming, but it's truly your higher self, your soul that is in charge of this heart healing. Your soul knows exactly what you're ready for. And let me tell you something, that in general, we're more ready than we think we are. It's like we go through life, as one of my teachers says, getting ready to be ready, ready to be ready, ready to be ready. And then we're ready. And when we're ready, we don't even know we're ready, but we are. So fortunately for us, we don't have to rely on our intellect. We can surrender and say to our soul, I'm willing. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay. So as we do that, I'm also welcoming the flowers, particularly the orchids. Orchids are these highly sensitive, amazing, gorgeous, beautiful beings. And I so resonate with them because, they're often like, they have such a specific needs, right? Just the right amount of water, just the right amount of sun, just the right amount of, they're these, I don't know, just these beautiful, beautiful, sensitive gifts that we have. And I read a long time ago, when I was reading about highly sensitive people, which I am one of those, them referred to as orchid people. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. And so I feel like orchids are here to, but the other thing about orchids is they are incredibly resilient. They're incredibly powerful. And so that combination, I feel, is the medicine that this priestess path is bringing. And so let's go ahead and take a few breaths. And as you do that, I invite you to settle into the earth. Feel your roots connecting to Mother Earth. Feel you really settling in. And I invite you to envision a beautiful circle of grace surrounding you. A circle of healing, white light, golden light, or maybe like a rainbow, like my shawl that I'm wearing today that I was really guided to wear. And actually, that's what I'm envisioning right now, this beautiful rainbow prism circle of grace around each of you, whether you're here live or you're watching the replay. And whether you watch the replay now or 5 years from now, please know that this is in place. And so this circle of rainbow light encircling our collective group, that brings this light of grace, this light of love and miracles and healing and great protection and safety. I recognize that one of the wounds that we have, those of us who are called to the priestess path, is wounds of feeling persecuted or feeling betrayed or feeling wounded. And the words that are coming is hunted down. And so many of us carry in ourselves one of the things that we're healing is this feeling of being in danger or not being safe. And so I understand now why this rainbow prism came, to encircle us with that divine knowing that you are safe and you are protected. Last month I flew to Austin, by myself on a plane. And I can get nervous on planes. And so when I got on, I'm being guided to share this, I said a prayer and I was like, okay, please. I was pretty, felt certain it would land, but I don't like turbulence on planes. Like, it freaks me out. So I was like, surrounding the plane in light and all of that. And I had a window seat. And I opened my eyes to look out. We were just at the part where the plane is ascending past the cloud line, so there were clouds. I looked out the window and I saw, this isn't the first time this has happened on a plane, but I saw, I think what's called a sunbow. Instead of a rainbow, it's like a circular rainbow. So it was a circular rainbow right there on the clouds. And then the way the light, and I don't know all the physics of it, the shadow of the plane was on the clouds. You could see the outline of the plane I was in. And it was right in the circle, right in the sunbow and the circular rainbow. So literally what I was looking at when I looked out the window was the outline of my plane surrounded by this rainbow. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's like a sign. I knew it was my soul, it was the angels, it was the ascended masters all saying, like, we've got you, we're here. I actually took a picture with my phone. You can't see it quite as clearly, but you could definitely see what I'm talking about, the circle and the plane inside. So I'm wearing the rainbow here. And so what I'm getting at is that, yes, we can call on this rainbow prism to surround us, right? To feel how safe and protected you are, particularly as you go through the turbulence, right? The turbulence of initiation that is happening for all of us. And particularly right now, as we're still feeling the effects of the lunar eclipse and the Mercury retrograde, which is ending this week. And so in that space, feeling that safety, that love, feeling that rainbow encircle every cell of your body. And now feeling that rainbow prism surrounding your beautiful heart. Feel that blessing of your heart. Feel that. And what I'm seeing is that rainbow circle around your heart. And that rainbow is both magnetic, is magnetizing out any pain, any wounding, any betrayal. And the worst betrayal is when we betray ourselves. So just releasing that and then feeling the blessings from this beautiful prism. And as that happens in your heart, I'm going to hit this beautiful tuning fork in front of my heart and know that that transmission is going across the heart waves wherever you are, whenever you watch this, to clear together the toxins that are in our heart. And so I invite you, if you are willing, that's all that's required, your willingness, to saying, I'm willing to release whatever is in my heart that blocks my love. I'm willing to release whatever blocks me from being that warrior of love, from being that priestess of love and service that I came here to be. And remembering that as we release this, we're releasing codependency, we're releasing the patterns of rescuing, we're releasing the patterns of people pleasing, all of that stuff that isn't what divine love is. And so here we go. And just open your heart, releasing, and feel the Divine Mother standing behind you with her arms open wide. And we're going to do that again. Releasing. And I just feel these tendrils being released, pulled out of our heart. Pulled out, released, release. beautiful Mother Mary or any depiction of the Divine Mother that you are connected to standing behind you. She has your back. And we're going to do it again. And I'm just feeling that magnetic pull at your heart, just releasing, clearing. And that beautiful mantra that Jesus gave to me a few weeks ago, I forgive everyone and everything. Forgive everyone and everything. Forgive everyone and everything. And this is not about spiritual bypassing. This is not about pretending that you don't have hurt feelings. We can do all that. In fact, we are meant to do that inner work and at the same time have that prayer, I forgive everyone and everything, because that prayer, that mantra, I forgive everyone and everything, releases the stickiness. It clears the stickiness to attachment, to entanglement, to codependency. And our soul can do the rest. I forgive everyone and everything. I forgive everyone and everything. I forgive everyone and everything. Let's bring our hands over to our heart center. And again, just embracing every part of you. Please know if there's something that you are working through, something painful, that it is absolutely not only okay, but healthy for you to have your feelings about it. And for you to have your process in having compassion for those feelings and asking for help from loved ones, or a lot of times that's not the best outlet for the help, or asking for professional support if need be. And at the same time, when we pray, when we come together in ceremony, we are accessing divine solutions that are not accessible with our logical mind. We are entering the quantum space where miracles happen. And so we are all opening right now to a miracle of heart healing. And so as we close the ceremony, I invite these beautiful orchids. Imagine you can, the beautiful, this lime green one or the purple one or whatever color resonates. Imagine these beautiful orchids in front of you. And those orchid flowers are beaming their light into your heart, strengthening your heart muscle as it stretches past any discomfort, bringing a healing balm to any part of your heart that might be hurting, bringing that energy of trust and safety and beauty. The orchids come and initiate us into the beauty way. And so with that, we bring the palms of our hands together and we bow to each other and our own heart. We end with a namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so, so much for being here. I could feel the heart healing as I was leading that ceremony. And if you want to share anything in the chat or in the comments later on, please feel free to do so. If you are so guided to, please like this video. The more, I know this isn't meant for everyone, right? Everyone has their path and their teachers and their guides, but I know there are people that these transmissions are meant for. And so the more you can like these videos and subscribe and share with those you are guided to share with, the greater, the easier it can be found by those that are meant to find it. So I really appreciate that. All right, so I'm just going to pull a card for all of us. I'm going to drink a little water. I don't think you can tell how amazingly cool this, it doesn't look as cool there, but here it's like this beautiful purple and this gold. It was one of my Mother's Day's gifts from my oldest daughter, Lisa. I love drinking water from it. Oh, thank you, Destiny. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to pull a card from the Gateway Oracle card, or Oracle Cards deck by Denise Lynn for us. And I do want to remind you, this month, the Mother Mary Masterclass, I believe, is on the 21st or 22nd. Registration is already open. I will be here weekly. There is 1 week, I think the week of the 18th, I won't be able to lead a transmission because I'm traveling. I am doing more traveling this year than I've done probably ever in my life, as far as, and you know why that is and so I'm just sharing this with you if it resonates. We are all being called to be in different parts of the planet right now because we are anchoring the light. We are bringing medicine to different parts of the world. And so, I'm just amazed like how my life and summer is unfolding in all of this travel that's happening for me. And it might be happening for you as well. And maybe it's not travel geographically, but maybe it's different neighborhoods that you're going to be called to, or different parks or forest preserves. Trust that. Trust the different route that your soul takes you on, because remember, you are blessed and you are a blessing. You are blessed and you are a blessing. Wherever you go, you bring blessings. All right, so let's go. Who else is here? Lorenza. Yes, Lorenza, I agree. I forgive everyone and everything. Yep. That's what Jesus said. He was like, just use that mantra. It unsticks. I forgive everyone and everything. And at the same time, we can still have our feelings, right? Thank you, Diane. All right, let's pull the card. What is the message for us, all of us collectively here? I love it. All right, standing firm. I am noble, brave, and strong. Look at this. You're standing there on those stones, on that pedestal, right? In the spotlight with your, how perfect for Joan of Arc that I'm wearing the Joan of Arc rosary, right? Because Joan of Arc went into battle with her banner, right? And I've done that meditation before. Like, what are you holding in your banner? So see this as yourself. I am noble, brave, and strong. What does your banner say? What does yours say, right? I've said before, mine says, nobody else has your soul's medicine. My banner also says, it is your divine birthright to love unconditionally, love yourself and love the world. So what does your banner say? And look at this. You are noble, brave, and strong. Oh, Marie, so glad that you're here. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing that. You're saying today's the 20-year anniversary of your mother's family. Yes, thank you for sharing that. I know anniversaries are so powerful. They actually open gateways or portals. So thank you. Oh, Suzanne, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, absolutely. So thank you, everyone. I will see you next week. And go out there and love the world. Not be codependent with it. Just know that your heart is just, wherever you go, your heart is like a spotlight. Love, love, love. Our only job is to get out of the way. That's it. That's what we're learning. All right. Bye, everyone. See ya.